going on, everyone? Darryl Lecklin here, Motocross Action Magazine. We're out here at a hot Cheney Ranch for the 2019 Honda CRF450 Intro. The bike, to the naked eye, looks pretty much identical to last year. Once you start getting up close and looking at it, it's vastly different. They changed the frame, the swing arm, the engine, handlebars has two mounts forward and back. They now have a Fatbar in the front instead of the 7/8 handlebars. A lot of this bike is different. It was a tie for second in last year's shootout with the Husky. Not due that too was a better bike. Different features that people liked, where the Husky had different features where other people liked. The bike was heavy. That was our probably biggest complaint. In the air, it did feel light. Some other upgrades Honda made this year was the launch control. There's actually 3 different modes that you can choose from off the gate. Radiator louvers are all new. The radiator fins on the radiators have improved airflow. The combustion chamber shape of the head is different. The cases are different on both sides, and there's no kick boss, which allows the frame to come forward and is also more rigid. The swing arm is lighter and less rigid. There's an optimized linkage ratio. It's a less rigid subframe. There's also a shift sensor from gear to gear that is entered in the ECU to change the mapping in each specific gear. The clutch pressure plate is different. Cable clutch lifter is different. Last year's rims were basic DIDs. Now they have DID Dirt Star rims on them. All the 6mm bolts are now lighter. The piston skirt is different. They have much lighter pegs. It has the same gearing, but the sprocket is lighter. As far as the suspension, front and rear valving is updated. And also the spring rates are the same, but the pressure spring is stiffer in the forks. For a complete list of the full details of this bike, click the link below in the description. Enough of the chit chat. We're gonna get Dennis Stapleton, our chief test rider, out on the track, spin some laps, and then wait till the end of the video to get his initial impression on the bike.
What's up, Motocross Action? Dennis Stapleton here. First thing we noticed this morning, the bikes were real fresh. The bike was a little rigid when we first got on it. After getting a couple hours on the bike really loosened up and had a nice loose feel after we got going later in the day. And we did have a little bit of suspension balancing issues that we were working on. This bike does like a lot of sag. We were down to 109mm of sag, half turn out on the high speed, and we also were quite a bit stiffer on the fork. Some of the riders did like to drop the forks 2mm. Standard position was 5mm. Power on this bike was fairly decent. Felt like it was an improvement from last year. Map switches were quite different this year. They have a new launch control map where you pull the clutch in, you push the start button for a few seconds, and it has a purple blinking button on the left side. Let you know which map for the launch control you're in. There's 3 maps available. When I first tried it, I was over-revving the bike and it was kind of difficult to use. I started map 3, map 2, map 1. I kind of did it backwards. It worked great once I figured it out. Took a few minutes fine-tuning that. So over to the general maps. Map 1 was quite good. No one really complained about that. Able to pull second gear through the turns. Lacked a little bit in some areas. Map 2 was their mud to hard pack map. Some of the riders complained that they had to shift down to first gear in some of the really slow sections of the track. The map made people feel like they were in the wrong gear in between shifting to second to third. Map 3 was their aggressive map. I quite like that. It was able to break the rear end loose, felt good. I would hope for a little bit more over-rev out of that map, but it was my favorite map today. Cheney Ranch is a foreign track to us. We only make it up here a couple times a year, so can't give all the details of the bike in one day of testing. Overall, good first day. Lots of bugs worked out. We spent over 3 hours on the bike. Look for a lot of upcoming features and product tests and more on the 2019 Honda 450 on motocrossactionmag.com. Look for a full review, Motocross Action Mag. And if you're looking for more 2019 bikes, check out our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Are you all caught up with Motocross Action's 2019 bike videos? Here's your chance.